Hey, Sooner Nation, we are back. The standard is here. The champion standard is here. So we did a little recap of the game on prior podcast. Talked a little bit about defense. Went into the offense a little bit. I think we're going to take a little deeper dive into the offensive line this time. Before I do that, I want to recognize a couple of our sponsors. Woodworks Distillery for all your bourbon, whiskey, gin, vodka needs. Please go see them. Great group of people up there. Go check them out for yourself. Don't take our word for it. And then who's your liquor store? I always forget their name.
9 East Liquor on Highway
Nine
9,
Nine
right
East.
next
Yeah.
to Rudy's. So on Mondays, you can go get yourself a brisket sandwich and listen to the coach's show and walk across and get yourself some Woodworks Distillery whiskey.
Yeah, we need to do some of those coaches shows. I know we talked about that. We'll have to figure out
Yeah.
when we're doing those. Do two or
Yeah.
three. I know Toby and that group does a great job recapping the game and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
uh, so before we get into the offensive line, I don't want to be remiss and recognize Tyler Keltner in the special teams. I almost
Oh
forgot
yeah.
about him.
Yeah.
Nice job, Tyler. You made a 50-yard field goal, and
We have a
honestly,
kicker.
and I know your seats were over on the side, so I'm always, I have the view of the TV, and man, his kicks look very. I don't know the right word to say this. Just good form and never looked like they were veering off either direction. Just nice right
Crisp.
down the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
no slide
It's
on any other kickers, but
muy
yeah,
muy yeah.
exactly. It
Just
looked
like
good. I was like, what's going on? Do we have a
Yeah.
kicker?
Yeah.
Not going to jinx him. Hopefully, it'll be that Auburn game when we're down by
Yeah.
two in the waning seconds, and he nails one. That'll be when he makes his real showing. So, yeah, special teams look good. I just didn't want to forget about those guys. They played a good game too. So,
Yeah. Great.
um, so we saved the best for last.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was some. There
Well,
was.
I mean, I'm not as low as some other people are.
Um,
I'm not there yet.
I
I
was
won't
pretty
be there
low
yet.
Friday night, and I've calmed down a little bit and realized his first game, banged up, whatever.
Right.
So I'm trying to write it off. I'm going to give him a mulligan, just to use the old golf term. They get a mulligan that first game, but when they put it on the tee against Houston, they better hit it down the fairway. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
So yeah, offensive line, rough night, just some poor play. I know I'm not good at analyzing, interior lines like you are. So, I'll let you have your
Well,
way with them, but just a lot of ugliness. I don't know how else to put it.
this obviously doesn't look great. So these are all the sacks that we had. And
Oof.
I'm not this play here, I'm not exactly sure what is going on, but you see how Spencer Brown is like his split here is like
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
yard or like
That's
almost
just
maybe even a
almost
yard and a
2 yards.
half.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
I'm
more than a
not
yard.
sure why because
Huh.
you got Sexton's coming out here to kick him out, and I don't know if that was by design. I feel it feels like it's a little bit off. And if you watch Spencer Brown, he kind of just shuffles his way into oblivion. But I'm not sure why his split is like that because if
Hmm.
Sexton's coming in here to kick him out, and this is some sort of RPO, I would rather have him closer so that Sexton doesn't have to travel as far to get to him. So you see him, and now he's like, why is he? He stepped up, and
Yeah, he was way out of
it,
position.
it just it was just really kind of strange, and that's just like an execution thing. But if you watch Spencer Brown, he kind of just shuffles into like it's just sort of just drifts off into like
Oof.
doesn't
He
yeah not
he
not
just
not a good
he went upfield like 2 yards too far or something, you know. So
yeah. I'm not sure what the splits are there. I'm gonna have I'll send this. I'm gonna send all this to JY and see if he
yeah.
can come on and talk to us because I mean, I would rather if you've got a guy you got to kick out, you would want to bring that split down so your guy doesn't have to travel as much, or maybe Sexton didn't get there quick enough. I don't know, but that was a little strange. Here's another one, and this is just
Hmm.
multiple. And I think this is the one where Arnold got mad. There's one where he like
Or,
actually like threw the ball on the ground and started
yeah,
like
didn't
started.
Barnes I think missed a block here too, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
No,
Oh
it looks
no,
like Barnes did it
that's another
right.
play I'm thinking about. Yeah.
But like you have like the other thing we have to understand is that Jake Taylor's out. Jake Taylor won the job at right tackle.
Hmm.
So Spencer Brown is our backup right tackle playing in the first game. Okay. Branson Hickman got about 9 to 10 plays, I think. He looked great at center. He got banged up and out. We had to kick over Hatchett, who to play center. And I mean, the snap difference between Hickman and Hatchett's pretty big. Like Hatchett was kind of slow. Makes sense. The guy had barely played center, um, so that's two guys that
Hmm.
are hurt and out, and then you've got, in my opinion, to me Hatchett looked a little banged up to begin with. From
Yep.
some of the people out there saying that he was hurt. He missed all last season, right, or half of last season. So this is his first start in a long time. And so you've got Jacob Sexton and Fabici Wiwu are really the only two guys that played half a year. Not to remind you that, Tarquin lost his job at USC. So like he didn't play a whole lot in the back half. So in this one, this was, again, right tackle gets pushed back too far, loses his footing, and then Arnold, and this is a little bit of a coverage sack. Arnold probably could have sat there a little bit longer, but um, I just feel like it's just gonna take. This is the one. Yeah, this
That's
is
the
the one.
one where Salchuk missed his block, I think.
Yeah, Salchuk. Yeah, this is the one
Yep.
where we mentioned in the other show that Salchuk didn't really have. He had a down game. He's looking left, and you
Oof.
know, Wee taking his guy out for to the sideline. Everyone does their job, but it only takes one person not to do
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
job, and then it's a sack. So, I'm not as low as some people are on the offensive line. Like I'm more of a wait and see mode. I think there's some you get healthier and you move people back to their natural
Hmm. Hmm.
spots, and you what we did see is Heath Ozida and EPL look pretty good, and I think they only had like 10 snaps apiece.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Coach B is going to give the veterans
Yeah.
their shot first. This is
Hmm.
their last year of college football. These free agents, Hickman, Brown, Tarquin, when they came here, Bendenbaugh recruited them on NFL dreams. You come here, I can coach you to be an NFL player. He's gonna give them their shot. It's Temple. It's the first game. It's okay if we play like crap. We're gonna win. Like if it happened to be play not good, but he's gonna give those guys their shot first. I
Yeah.
think there's enough tape out there now. Down in Houston, you gotta start mixing some things up. Even if it's the same line for Houston, I'm not gonna panic. I'm not. I will start to panic as if we're going into Tennessee and one, we're not healthy, or two, we're healthy and the line didn't change. That's
Right.
when I'll say, okay, now we're entering insanity status. So I'm Coach B's gonna get it figured out. I'm not gonna be the one hitting the panic button just yet. Not after
Yeah.
game one.
I will say too, when Hickman went out, if you fast forward a few weeks, you might be able to have Bates and Everett both healthy. Guess what? All you do is plug and play. So you're able to put Bates or Everett in, and there's no shuffling going on at that point. But
Right.
once Hatchett came in, it was just a great shuffle took place, and several guys were out of position.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really big part of it. I think if you have a healthy Bates or Everett that comes in for Hickman when that happens, I think you might have saw a little more consistency.
And I'll
Um,
say Hickman looked good here. These are the snaps with Hickman in,
the 10
and
plays that he had, I thought he looked
he
fine.
he looked great. Hickman, you get Hickman. I think Hickman getting back at center to me is more of a catalyst than right tackle right now,
Yeah.
because you have to have that left to right guard settled, and getting Hickman healthy will get that interior looking good. I'll worry about
Yeah.
uh, Tarquin just yet, but maybe EPL late in the game,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
Heath Ozida looked good. And I am a big Heath Ozida fan. I've been a fan of his since spring. When I saw those spring tapes from 247 and On 3 and what's the other one? Arrivals, when they
Hmm.
had Sooner Scoop, I was looking for I was looking for Heath Ozide. I loved the way he was moving around. He looked really good, and I was hoping. And back with our episode with JY, I was like, I'm hoping Heath Ozida takes over that left guard spot,
Hmm.
and it's settled, and Sexton kicks over to left tackle.
Yeah.
But that will not happen unless left guard is solidified. Like you cannot. You have to have a good left guard
Right.
and a center and a right guard before you start moving, shuffling the tackles out.
No, I'm
You
with
have
you.
to have a wall.
I,
You
I
have to have a
think
wall there.
between Ozeta and EPL or whoever else, if those guard spots can get left guard in particular, if that can get solidified, then I like the idea of a Sexton. Take your pick at left guard, whoever it is, just that, you know,
Like, look at this. This is
consistent
a great
guy.
play. This is a
Yeah.
great play.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wants to say that it was like hot garbage. I mean, there's some people that are saying it's garbage. This is a good play. I mean, Hatchet gets kind of a little there, but like Barnes, and I think this is a year where the running backs, the depth of it with Barnes healthy and Tatum, which we talked in the
Hmm.
previous
Hmm.
episode, this might be a year where the running backs make the O line look good for the first few games.
Yeah. I think,
Make the first
I don't,
make the
I
miss.
don't know the status of Everett, but if I'm Bedenbaugh and OU right now, I am just letting Hickman and Everett, get healthy over these next couple of weeks. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, it'd be nice if they had some game rep before Tennessee, but man, we're going to need both of those guys for Tennessee, in my opinion.
right. Another thing is like this is gonna be a natural selection. Okay, like these guys are watching film together. They know who played like crap and who didn't. They know who's playing good and who's not. Who's not. They know who's is on the hot seat and who's not. Like these are. This is. They're all sitting in a room together. They're trying to get each other better. But if you lose your spot, you lost your spot. End of story. We all know why.
Yeah.
So more and more reps. Who's the best five? And in my opinion, here in a few weeks, we get healthier, put people in the natural spots, we're going to be just fine. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I think from left guard to right guard, you need a wall. The quickest to A to B is in a straight line.
Yeah.
So you have to have your left guard to right guard a wall.
Yeah. Um, I, you know, I have a little bit of a conspiracy theory mind that I turn on every now and then. And sometimes I think there may be something going on, with BB and BV or whatever, as far as the offensive line's concerned.
What?
I don't really want to get into that a whole lot because
What
I
was
don't,
our. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
well, I just don't want to create, false narratives that aren't out there or anything. But if some guys aren't good enough to play, sometimes the way you can justify that is to let them play and let them see it on tape themselves. I'm just saying.
Exactly. No,
I'm,
exactly.
and
They're
I'm not
going
saying
to
that's a
get the.
conspiracy theory, but I'm saying,
You just let it
let
happen.
them
It's
fail.
natural selection,
Just
man.
let them
It's
fail.
natural selection. They do that
And
same thing in the NFL.
and
The same thing.
we saw what a Caden Green came on by the Texas game last year, right? Didn't he kind of
Yep.
show up?
Left guard. Yep.
There's no reason Heath Ozeta and EPL can't be that guy this year.
Yep.
That young guy that shows up all of a sudden.
Exactly.
So maybe that conspiracy theory is not the right word there, but I'm just saying you can let things play out. If some guy thinks he's better, then say, okay, here's your opportunity, and he's not. So
Well, one of the things is just that we like Bendenbaugh recruited these 3 free agents less than 9 months ago. Like he literally told them, "Come here, I'll give you a chance."
yeah,
They're not gonna he's not gonna start them for 3 drives on Temple and then bench them because they're not playing well. Like
yeah.
it's Temple. Like you've got plenty of time. Let them. You got to see what they got, what they're gonna do. And we yeah, it just takes
Or
time.
are you wishing we might have overpaid for Hurd now?
Uh, I'm not for overpaying for anybody.
I'm not either, but
Like
god dang,
I don't want to. I don't want to overpay for anybody. Like no.
that would kind of
But what
seal up that offensive line right now, though. I'm just saying.
if you took those sacks out, right? Those sacks, not good. But if you look at the run game, right, and that's where I think some people are kind of a little bit frustrated seeing what did the running backs yards per rush were. Do you know? I have the number. I'm asking you if you know or if you could take a
I don't
guess.
have the yards per. I have 36 carries for 220 total yards. So I kind of have the team stat. So yeah, if you have
So
the
running
other,
backs were 20 rush attempts, 162 yards for 8.1 yards a carry.
8 of carries,
Like
you'll take that. Yeah,
like okay. Okay.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's
It's
fine.
not doom and gloom yet. I'm not I don't know what it's a rebuilt line with a guy hurt and another guy hurt and like it's going to take a little bit of time, but that's not that bad.
No,
Those
it's not.
sacks were not good, but we just watched them. We know what we can do to fix there. So get healthy. I mean,
Yeah, and I was going to say they were running against air, but I don't know if that's completely fair. I think the Temple defense was, okay.
eh,
Um, we'll see.
I
Yeah, competition's getting stiffer, so we will definitely see how that O line comes together here next week. I don't know if we were giving out grades, to the offensive line this week. Would
okay.
it be as low as a D or maybe just like a C minus?
Yeah,
C
I would
minus.
say C minus, but I would give Sexton probably a B plus, and I would something like that,
Yeah.
and everything else
So
kind of gets weighted down, So
another
and then
week, you hope that we can kick that up a letter grade. Really is
sure,
what we're talking about here. They need to have a B level type performance against Houston.
sure,
So us and the rest of Sooner Nation can take our hand off that panic button just for a week.
yeah, yeah. We're it's gonna be a process. We're gonna be fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. Now, if we get into, like I said, if we get in Tennessee and
Yeah.
one, we're not healthy, or two,
Hmm.
we're healthy and it's the same line,
Yeah.
then I will be grabbing a pitchfork with everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Or
any
else
other
happening.
any other thoughts on O line?
No. Just give the O line some grace. Give
Yeah.
them some grace. Give them some time.
Yep.
They're gonna be fine.
Get healthy. Let BB do his magic.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for listening again. Appreciate all the support out there. And we will be I guess, out in a couple of days, giving our input on Houston coming down the road. So have a good week. Until next time, Boomer Sooner.